So now we have entered into our last unit of our DSP, that is multi-rate digital signal processing. That means so far we have seen about digital signal processing at single rate only, okay, at single default rate. But now we are going to see at different rates. That means at different frequencies, at different time intervals, how we have to perform these digital signal processing at a time. Okay. So these are the contents that we are going to see about introduction about the multi-rate signal processing, what is decimation and what is interpolation. Next, sampling rate conversion by a rational factor, implementation of this sampling rate conversion, multi-stage implementation of sampling rate conversion and for many stages, sampling rate conversion of bandpass signals, sampling rate conversion by an arbitrary factor, and finally applications of multi-rate signal processing. Okay, these are all the topics that we are going to see and cover in our 5th unit. Okay, so in very first unit I have told you a couple of lines about the decimation and interpolation in signal processing. Okay, here in 5th unit we are going to see a complete picture of decimation, a complete picture of interpolation. That means first, what is decimation and how can we achieve decimation, what is the outcome of the decimation, what are the applications of the decimation, and what is the frequency spectrum of decimation, what are the drawbacks of decimation and how can we overcome those drawbacks of decimation. Like that, same for interpolation also. Okay, so first introduction, we are going to see the process of converting a signal from a given sampling rate to a different sampling rate is called as sampling rate conversion. Okay, I have told you this many times. In electronics, we don't need to by heart or we don't need to muck up any definition. If you just simply see the word or else see the word that you are going to define, you can get the complete definition of that word. Sampling rate conversion. Sampling rate. What is sampling rate? We know that the rate at which it changes from one domain to another domain is called as sampling rate. It is getting converted. In which way it is converted? From for a given signal, we are going to convert the sampling rate from existing sampling rate to a different sampling rate. Okay, the process of converting a signal from a given sampling rate or else the existing sampling rate to a different sampling rate or else that to desired sampling rate. Depending upon the application, the sampling rates may differ. Okay, to a different sampling rate is called as a sampling rate conversion. Okay, systems that employ multiple sampling rates in the processing of digital signals are called as multi-rate digital signal processing systems. Okay, that means systems that employ multiple sampling rates in the processing of digital signals are called as multi-rate digital signal processing systems. So if you observe here, systems that employ multiple sampling rates, one or more sampling rates in the processing of digital signals is called as multi-rate digital signal processing systems. Okay, any systems they can perform one or more sampling rates at a time are called as multi-rate DSP systems. Sampling rate conversion of a digital signal can be accomplished by one of the two general methods. Okay, how can we achieve means there are two general methods. Okay, so first one is pass the digital signal through a digital to analog converter, filter it if necessary, and then to resample the resulting analog signal at the desired rate. That is, to pass the analog signal through an analog to digital converter. So if you are having not if you are having, we are dealing with digital signal. So for our digital signal, first we have to process it through a digital to analog converter, and if we need to filter it, or else if we need to choose some portion, we'll go for filters, else we won't go. And then after converting our digital signal to analog signal, we have to do resampling process. Where it is here. Okay. So we have to do resampling process, the resulting analog signal at the desired rate. Okay, to pass the analog signal through, again that analog signal, after resampling, again that analog signal has to be passed through an analog to digital converter, and finally we can achieve sampling rate conversion. That means for a digital signal, it has to go one digital to analog conversion, and then resampling, and then it has to undergo another analog to digital conversion. This has been a very long method. Second advantage of this method: new sampling rate can be arbitrarily selected and need not have any special relationship to the old sampling rate. Yes, this is a fair advantage of this method. That means the new method, that is that we have the new sampling rate, what we have achieved is independent. It don't maintain any relationship but with the old sampling rate. So there will be no effects of old sampling rate on the new one. So disadvantage: the signal distortion introduced by the digital to analog converter in the signal reconstruction and by the quantization effects in the analog to digital conversion too. Okay, the disadvantage main is here signal distortion introduced by the digital to analog converter in the signal reconstruction and by the quantization effect in the analog to digital conversion. Okay, so there will be a distortion that occurs because of the resampling. So next method: perform the sampling rate conversion entirely in the digital domain. Okay, that means signal distortion can be avoided here. Here it has written to method 1 disadvantage is avoided in this method. That means perform the sampling rate conversion entirely in the digital domain. That means no need of conversion from digital to analog domain and from analog to resampling and then reconstruction of the signal and then analog to digital domain. There is no point of doing all these things, completely doing the sampling rate entirely in the digital domain. So signal distortion and the quantization error effects, everything will get overcome in this method only. So here multi-rate digital signal processing consists of, in this one we consist of decimation or downsampling. Okay, what is decimation? The process of reducing the sampling rate by an integer factor capital D. Okay, this is called decimation. That means we are reducing the sampling rate, and that means sampling we are reducing it, downing it, so it is called as downsampling or as decimation. Ty is equal to D into Tx. Ty, that means output y, is equal to decimation factor D into Tx. So interpolation or upsampling, process of increasing the sampling rate by an integer factor I. So if you observe in both decimation and in interpolation, the factor is integer. Ty is equal to Tx by I. Okay, if it comes to frequency here, then it will get reverse. Decimation will factor will come in denominator here, and here interpolation factor will come in multiplication when comes to your frequency, because T is equal to 1 by F. We know that T is equal to 1 by F. Tx by Ty is Ty by Tx is equal to Fx by Fy, that is equal to D by I. Okay. So this is the decimation or interpolation definitions. The process of reducing the sampling rate by an integer factor capital D is called decimation, and the process of increasing the sampling rate by an integer factor I is called as interpolation. Okay. So now we will see about decimation or downsampling in detail. So this is downsampling. So we have already seen the definition of downsampling, which is decreasing the sampling rate. So now see the block diagram of sampling rate. X of n is the input signal. It is going to downsampler, and y of n is the output signal. We have already seen that ty is equal to d into tx. So y of n is equal to x of n into m. See, for downsampling we can represent the integer as capital D or else capital M only. Y of n is equal to x of n into m. Let us take m is equal to 2 here. This is the x of n signal. It is having 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 3, 2, 1, 0. This is the signal. And for yd of n only at 2 signals. So the sampling rate is reduced by 2. That means only alternate samples will present. That means this first sample won't be there, third sample won't be there, and then fifth sample won't be there. Okay, it's like 7th sample won't be there. So like this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So from 0 it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 3, 2, 1, 0. This is the curve. But here from 0 to 2, second sample, next to fourth sample, and then second sample, and then 0. This is the stretched form of the graph. Generally there won't be, you can see the differences. There won't be our first sample, there won't be the second, third sample, fifth and seventh. You can observe it in this graph only by means of the amplitude. But after the down sampling process and everything, you will get to know all. Okay. This is for m is equal to 2, the graphical representation. So now let us see about the decimation by a factor D. Let us assume that the signal x of n with spectrum x of omega is to be downsampled by an integer factor capital D. That means x of n is our input signal, and for that x of n, the Fourier transform x of omega is the output spectrum. It has to be downsampled by an integer factor capital D. The spectrum x of omega is assumed to be non-zero in the frequency interval. Okay, that means it has to be a non-zero value. It should exist in that frequency interval 0 to 0 less than omega less than or equal to pi, or else f less than or equal to fx by 2. In time domain, ty is equal to d into tx. Okay, output is equal to some factor into input time. But while comes to its frequency domain, here see fx by 2, that decimation factor has to come. We know that if we reduce the sampling rate simply by selecting every dth value of x of n, the resulting signal will be an aliased version of x of n with a folding frequency of fx by 2d. That means if we do decimation for every dth factor, we have already seen the decimation by 2 in previous graph. Okay, for every dth value, if we do this sampling rate conversion, the resulting signal, the output signal is aliased. Aliasing is nothing but overlapping. Okay, aliased version of x of n with a folding frequency of fx by 2d. To avoid aliasing, reduce the bandwidth of x of n. F maximum is equal to f by 2d. Then downsample by d to avoid the aliasing. So aliasing is nothing but our drawback of decimation. It has to be avoided by taking f max is equal to fx by 2D. Okay. The input x of n is passed through a low pass filter characterized by impulse response h of n. That means now we are overcoming the aliasing effect. For that aliasing effect, to reduce that bandwidth, we are using a low pass filter here. Okay. No need of any confusion. Again, why we are taking low pass filter and no confusions of that. To reduce that bandwidth of x of n, now we are going to use our low pass filter. Okay, the input x of n is passed through a low pass filter characterized by impulse response h of n and a frequency response ht of omega, which ideally satisfies the condition. So you have to define a hd of omega, frequency response of low pass filter. hd of omega is equal to 1 for omega less than or equal to pi by d. That means it has to be omega maximum. Here we have defined pi by d. That has to be the region of convergence for the region of validity for our frequency spectrum of low pass filter we are going to define. Okay, and hd of omega has to be 0 in all other frequencies. Thus the filter eliminates the spectrum of x of omega in the range pi by d less than or equal to omega less than pi. So if after, because of that omega is restricted to only pi by d interval, after beyond that pi by d, that means from pi by d to pi, then the frequency of that the filter eliminates the spectrum of x of omega. So we can overcome that aliasing effect by introducing a filter. So now illustration of the decimation process. Block diagram is, previously it is only a decimator. Okay, so but here there is an h of n. This h of n is nothing but as anti-aliasing filter. So now this is the block diagram of decimation by a factor d. Initially we have taken only a downsampler, this one for this block alone. The input is giving and the output that we are collecting here, but we have seen all about the aliasing effect here, and by how we have to overcome the aliasing effect and all we came to know. So after we came to know, then we have applied thing, then the block diagram got modified and it is having a low pass filter at the input side. Okay, this is the block diagram of decimation by a factor d. The output of the filter is V of n. V of n is nothing but, if you see here, x of n is the input. Previous case it directly went to downsampling and aliasing came. So after analyzation we have introduced a low pass filter or else anti-aliasing filter at the input side of the decimator. So output of the filter is V of n. Now filtered output is going to downsampler. Okay, so V of n is nothing but the convolution of input and the system function. So output of V of n is equal to summation k equal to 0 to infinity h of k into x of n minus k. Then V of n is sampled by the factor d to produce y of m. So y of m is equal to V of m into d. The output of the decimator, y of m is equal to V of m into d. So if you substitute V of md, here h of k into x of md minus k will come into picture. From this, x of n is a linear and time invariant, but overall linear operation is followed by downsampling on x of n is time variant. Okay, though the system is linear and time invariant also, but because of this substitution of y of m equal to V of md, this downsampling will be of time variant. Okay. The frequency domain characteristics of the output sequence y of m can be obtained by relating the spectrum of y of m to the spectrum of input sequence x of n. Okay. So frequency domain characteristic can be obtaining the output sequence y of m by relating it to input sequence. Okay, if you want to analyze the output spectrum, we have to have a look over the input sequence also. So now define a sequence. V bar of n equal to V of n for n is an integer is equal to 0 otherwise. This sequence is obtained by multiplying V of n with a periodic train of impulses P of n with period d as shown in figure 2. So for the definition and for the complete illustration of the decimation, we are going to see a pulse train. We are going to take a pulse train which is going to define our V of n signal, that means output of our low pass filter only at particular integer values representing discrete domain. Okay, so discrete Fourier series representation, P of n is equal to 1 by d, k equal to 0 to d minus 1 e power j 2 pi kn by d. Here P of k is there, but P of k is nothing but a 1 frequency spectrum. Because it is a pulse train, unit pulse train, V bar of n equal to V of n into P of n. So if you substitute Y of m equal to V bar of md, V of md into P of md, this is a pulse train whose magnitude is 1 only and defined at only integer values. That means 0, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, like that. Okay. Since P of md equal to 1. So the Z transform of input sequence Y of m is Y of Z is equal to, the Z transform of output sequence Y of m. Y of Z equal to summation minus infinite to infinite Y of m into Z power minus m. We know that Y of m equal to V bar of md. So V bar of md, if you substitute here V bar of m, Z power minus m by d. Okay, as this is a sampling rate rational factor, it will go to the power of z, okay, because of the decimation. So if you substitute V bar of m, V of m into this one, and finally the spectrum can be obtained like this: 1 by d into summation k equal to 0 to d minus 1 hd of this one and x of e power minus j 2 pi k by d say into 1 by z power 1 by d. Since the rate of y of m is fy is equal to 1 by ty, omega y is equal to 2 pi f by fy, that equal to 2 pi f into ty here. Okay, and we know that fy is equal to fx by d, omega x equal to 2 pi f by fx, 2 pi f by tx also. Thus the frequency range 0 less than omega x less than or equal to pi by d is stretched into the corresponding frequency range omega 0 less than omega y less than or equal to pi by the downsampling process. Okay, so now it is clear that after this frequency analyzation, okay, this range of frequencies got eliminated. So the spectrum y of omega y equal to 1 by d into, so y of omega y is equal to 1 by d into ht of omega y minus 2 pi k by d into x of omega y minus 2 pi k by d. So with a proper designed filter hd of omega, the aliasing is eliminated and all the above but the first term in above equation gets vanished. That means, so 1 by d hd of omega y by d, x of omega y by d. So finally y of omega y is equal to 1 by d. So this is defined only for pi, and x of omega y by d. So if you see here, okay, the complete illustration is that this is the signal low pass filter output signal V of n. Okay, now we are taking a pulse train only defined at integers. That means 0, 1, 2 or else minus 1. This here it is 0, minus 1, minus 2 or else this is minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, like that. And it has also defined like this. Okay, if you observe here, this is the 0th sample, this is the 3rd sample and this is the 6th sample. So here also this is the 0th sample, this is the 3rd sample, this is the 6th sample. So V bar of n is equal to V of n into P of n. If you multiply these two sequences, wherever the input signal, wherever one of the signals is 0, then we won't get any output at that signal. Then simply we will get zeros at that signal. So only the samples where the pulse train is defined will come into V bar of n. So here this is 0, 0th sample will come, third sample, the magnitude is 1 here, so whatever is the magnitude here on the third sample will come into picture here. This is the 6th sample, which is a negative value, so negative value comes here. What next is the 9th sample, 12th sample, and so on, like that. This chain continues for every third sample. So y of n is equal to V bar of nd, that equal to V of nd. So all these will together kept at one place. Okay, that means we are stretching out the signal. Because of this passage of zeros won't we'll get bandwidth wasted like that. So we'll keep all the 0th sample, 3rd sample, 6th sample like this. By eliminating all the zeros, we'll stretch the signal. So if you see here, this is the spectrum, that is decimation of x of n by a factor d. So x of omega, and this is ht of omega, which is defined from minus pi by d to pi by d at only 1. And this is V of omega x. V of omega x is defined only that equal to h into x, but because so V of omega x is equal to from minus pi by d to pi by d region is there. On this region, this top of x of omega x will present, and whenever it comes to output, this frequency is stretched to minus pi to pi. Okay, like this way the decimation will happens. And now we will see about interpolation.